How's it going, folks? Wayne are back for another lesson. On this lesson I'm going to talk about the dreaded bar chord. But it's an essential thing to learn, because obviously what a bar chord is it's called a bar chord because we bar all the strings with his first finger and then we do the chord shape with his remaining fingers. And what we have is a movable chord. Okay? And it's one of them things, once you've got your open chords down, as like an advanced beginner, it's essential to get these down, because you have to play bar chords, some of the sharp chords that we play, or like a B minor and things like that. But like I say, they're a good movable chord. Right, so the way to approach this, to get a bar chord down, we're just going to be talking about minors and majors today. So if we do an E major chord, okay, so if we can do that with his last three fingers instead of the fingering with the first three fingers, so if we have the second finger on the first fret on the G string, second finger on the second fret on the A string, and the third finger, sorry, the little finger underneath that on the second fret on the D string, we're doing an E major with his last three fingers instead of his first three fingers. Now, to get a bar chord, we would move that up one position and then bar all the strings with that finger. That finger has got to be down flat. Okay? But as a beginner, we're not going to practice it down there. I'm going to give you a little tip now, because what we talked about before, the frets are really wide, so it's a big strain on the fingers. So if we put the capo maybe about the 5th fret, say, and imagine that is the nut, and we'll do the same thing again. We'll play the... Okay? So we're doing the E major chord. I'm going to move that up one, and we're going to put the bar on. We're going to try and bar all the strings. Now it's very important to get the finger as flat down as you can, because the natural thing for the finger to do is to bend at the knuckles. So what we've got to do is try and get it on as flat as we can. Okay? So, and the main culprits are, the finished strings. We've got to make sure we're catching the bottom three strings, okay? So, this is the chord we're after. That's with the capo on the 5th fret, and we're doing effectively what is an F bar chord. Okay, so if we were to turn that into a minor chord, what we would do is take the middle finger off. And you can hear it straight away, that's the minor chord. And if you struggle, it's actually harder doing the minor chord as a beginner than the major chord. So what I always used to do is press my second finger down on my first finger. And it helps press that bar down a bit more, and that finger is out of the way then as well, okay? So we've got the major and the minor. Okay, so that's the 6th ring, the 6th string root note. Okay, if we to move that down now, what we've got to do now is do an A major shape to get the major one. So we're going to be doing that with his last three fingers. Instead of the first three, we're going to be doing it with his last three fingers. And again, we're going to move that up one, and then put the bar on again, but we're playing the bottom 5 strings, because the root is the 5th string this time. Okay? So we can either play it that way, or what a lot of guitarists do, they use the 3rd finger. It's a bit of a technique that you have to master, and put your pad down, but leave the bottom string open. Okay? So what I'm effectively doing with this finger is covering the D, the G and the B string, and curling it up so I'm not catching the top E string. So this is, so that's the major chord. Okay, and then the minor one is, imagine A minor. So do an A minor, move that up, and the same again, this is the minor shape, okay? So that is probably the best way to practice bar chords, and they won't come overnight, they take a lot of practice. But once you've got the bar chord mastered and it's sounding, it's really ringing out like that, then you can take the capo off, and what we need to do then is sort of practice moving them around, Maybe move it down 1 fret, move it back up. Just practice moving them chords around, okay? The major, minors, you know. But it's going to take a while before you can do that from a beginner, so the best thing is, I mean, you don't necessarily have to use a capo if you can get the bar on, you know, and then get the, imagine doing like the E major shape. But I would recommend you practice bar chords further up the fretboard where the frets are a little bit closer and then it's less strain on your fingers. So I hope that's helped you. Thank you for your continued support, and if you haven't already, please check out my original songs under the name of 7th Rebel, and please like my Facebook page. Thanks very much, see you soon.